With the right prompt, Midjourney can turn a single image into something that looks straight out of a high-end production. The trick isn't using more tools, it's using smarter words. In the next few minutes, you'll learn how to take full control of Midjourney's new video mode to make ultra-realistic AI animations. Step 1. Start with manual mode for more control. When you upload your image into Midjourney's Animate feature, the default is auto mode. You want to choose manual mode instead. That lets you direct the movement yourself instead of hoping the AI figures it out. And under manual, there's one more choice that matters. Set the motion type to low. Low motion gives you more predictable, stable animation. High motion can result in wild movements that feel disconnected from your original image. Step 2. Decide prompt strategy. You can either keep your original image prompt and add the animation part at the end, or you can replace your original prompt entirely and only describe the motion. Both methods work, but they create very different results. Let's say your original image prompt was a woman standing in the rain, cinematic lighting, high detail, and you add the woman is struck by lightning at the end. Midjourney will try to animate that event into the scene, but it keeps the visual elements from your original image. Now, take that same motion phrase, the woman is struck by lightning, and use it as the full prompt on its own. What you get might look completely different. The background might change, the framing might shift, and even the subject might get replaced with something the model thinks fits better. If you want consistency with your original look, it's usually better to keep the full image prompt and add motion at the end. Step 3. Lengthen your prompts. When you include motion directions at the end of a full image prompt, the animation tends to be more unique and less generic. A short prompt like a dragon flies is going to create more similar results across the grid than something like a fiery red dragon with metallic scales glides over a frozen lake at sunset. The dragon slowly rises into the air. That second one gives Midjourney more to work with, which leads to more distinct animation options. More detail equals more variety. Step 4. Use Style Raw for better accuracy. Here's another powerful tip. Use the parameter ~Style Raw at the end of your manual prompts. What this does is remove Midjourney's usual stylization filters. That means the AI sticks closer to what you actually wrote. It's perfect for realism, and especially important when you want the movement to look natural. Let's say you type, a warrior points sword at camera, Style Raw. With that tag, you'll notice the result feels sharper and more accurate, with more grounded animation and less of the dreamy or stylized motion you might get without it. Step 5. Animate specific movements with natural language. Midjourney understands plain language, and in many cases, it actually performs better when you write like a person. For example, if you want a spinning animation, you can write 360-degree rotation, but you can also write the character spins around in a complete circle. Both work, but the second usually gives smoother, more fluid movement. If you want a subtle motion, try something like the woman shimmies or the man leans forward slightly. It picks up on natural gestures better than rigid phrases like rotate body on x-axis. You can try phrases like she glances over her shoulder or he raises one eyebrow while smiling. You'll be surprised at how expressive these can be. Step 6. Use extend when motion isn't fully captured. If you preview your animation and it feels like it ends mid-movement, just hover over the video and click Extend Auto or Extend Manual. Midjourney will add a few more seconds to complete the action. This is great for things like spins, turns, or gestures that feel unfinished. The default video is just 4 seconds, but you can keep extending it in 4-second chunks up to about 21 seconds. Step 7. Adjust motion speed with keywords. You can control how fast things move with simple words like slowly or quickly. These modifiers actually matter. The woman shimmies slowly will create a smooth, controlled motion. If you say the woman shimmies fast, it might look twitchy or overly energetic. Same for things like turning, pointing, or walking. These speed words affect not just how fast the animation plays, but also how the AI interprets the energy of the scene. Step 8. Be cautious with camera movements. Words like zoom in or pan left don't usually work the way you think. The AI doesn't really know how to process film school terms, so you have to speak in terms of what's happening in the scene. Instead of saying zoom out, try something like the camera moves away from the subject slowly. That makes the intent clearer and usually produces better animation. Step 9. Lock the camera. If you want the camera to stay still, you can't just write static camera and expect it to freeze. But what you can do is describe motion happening in the scene while the camera stays put. For example, you could say a static camera, the plants blow in the wind. That way, the scene stays dynamic, but the frame doesn't drift or shake. Another example is the character remains still while lights flicker in the background. The goal is to imply that something's moving, but not the lens. That gives the illusion of a locked camera shot. Step 10. Try human-like phrasing for better movement. Phrasing like acts natural can lead to better movement than trying to describe specific gestures. When you say, the woman acts natural, the AI usually animates believable micro-movements like blinking, adjusting posture, flipping hair, or touching sunglasses. These small things make the animation feel more alive. On the other hand, if you say shimmy silently, it might misunderstand and do something weird with the mouth or eyes. Expressions are still one of the trickiest parts of Midjourney video, so it's worth experimenting. Step 11. Test speed and movement. If you really want to understand how your prompt affects movement, try running the same scene with slight changes. Run one version with slowly, one with quickly, one with a straight face, one with silently. You'll start to notice patterns in how Midjourney interprets emotion and speed. It's all about experimenting. What type of videos are you planning on making with Midjourney? Let me know below, and don't forget to like and comment for future videos.